Please go subscribe to the Rumble channel for Franchise Sports TV under the name FSTV22. Now, I'm using that Rumble channel for any purposes of me getting kicked off YouTube and also for more of my spicier joints. It's free as well. I have the freedom to say whatever I want to say as well. So go subscribe to FSTV22. That is Franchise Sports TV 22 on Rumble. There's always these comparisons between Larry Bird and LeBron James. Some many old heads, even some younger dudes, consider Larry Bird as the GOAT small forward of all time, the best small forward of all time. And then you have people who do consider LeBron to be the best small forward of all time as well. And there's always the different comparisons. Well, LeBron's more athletic. LeBron's more this. LeBron's more that. And you have some of these LeBron tards don't even know that Larry Bird actually averaged a double-double for his whole entire career as well. Now, Larry Bird wasn't the most athletic guy back then. He wasn't, but he was crafty. He had that mindset to go get it and go out there and win, unlike the opposition that I'm talking about as well. And of course, he played at different, harder times. The rules were different and everything, of course. But we look at Larry Bird, his whole era, and all the small forwards he had to compete with, compared to LeBron James, all the small forwards he had to compare with. There's no comparison who had the most competition at small forward. Then you look at Larry Bird's era, the 80s, mostly. You got Dr. J. That's the biggest one. James Worthy. You probably could say Clyde Drexler, George Gervin, Mark McGuire, Marcus Johnson, Terry Cummings to a point. The list goes on and on and on and on. Adrian Dantley, Alex English, Scottie Pippen. The list can go on. There's so many different small forwards that people during the 80s people just don't know about. I can't even think of off the top of my head. But when it comes to LeBron, I can think of a lot of them off the top of my head. And look at LeBron's era so far, especially when he got into his prime. The amount of small forwards dwindle from the 80s. Big time small forwards. Now, if you think about them, according to fadeaway.net, they got Paul Pierce. By the time LeBron James came into his own, Paul Pierce was on the downside of his career. Still efficient somewhat, but he's up there. Then you got Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, right? You got those two. Now fadeaway sports put freaking Gordon Hayward on that list. When is the last time Gordon Hayward been relevant? It's been a long time that he's been relevant. I guess you can count Jason Tatum, who really hasn't done anything. Chris Middleton. I'm trying to think of some others. But the exception of probably Kawhi Leonard, KD definitely. I don't know about Paul George because Paul George is on that list. Paul Pierce is already a Hall of Famer. The list of small forwards that LeBron James had to compete with, that's not compared to the list of the small forwards that Larry Bird compared to. Now, if I really want to get in detail with the small forwards of Larry Bird's era, all right, I might just do it. So here we go. So here's the list right quick. So, like I said, Julius Erving, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy, Clyde Drexler, George Gervin, some people can considered to be Scottie Pippen, Alex English, Bernard King, Chris Mullin, Adrian Dantley, Mark McGuire, Larry Nance, and I don't know about David Thompson, Jamal Wilkes, Kiki Vandeweghe, Bobby Jones, Deadlift Shrimp. The list goes on. Walter Davis, I think he was pretty much towards the out. Like I said, Marcus Johnson, Kelly Tripucka, Chuck Person, Paul Presley, Robert Reed. The list goes on and on and on and on and on of small forwards. And majority of these are small forwards that are in the Hall of Fame. Or if not in the Hall of Fame, were all-stars and big-time scorers. LeBron James, at best, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. I don't even want to call Paul George, but I guess you can call Paul George. Carmelo Anthony, I forgot to name him as well. I don't know about Paul George being a Hall of Famer, but Carmelo Anthony, Kawhi Leonard, and I guess you want to call Paul Pierce and Kevin Durant, most likely and already are Hall of Famers. So that it doesn't compare. It just doesn't compare. In my humble opinion, I just feel that Larry Bird is just a tad bit better than LeBron James. Everybody can do skill set. What skill set does LeBron James even have in his arsenal? What bag does he have? What bag does he have? Not much, does he? It's not much. Larry Bird averaged a double-double. I don't even think. Maybe he might. Maybe LeBron James might, when his career's over, he might average a double-double rebounds. But that's sad that he hasn't even got past Michael Jordan. I think is in offensive rebounds LeBron James has. And I'm looking at this list right now of all the small forwards during LeBron's time, according to Ranker. Here's the list, just to put some more insight on it. So on the list for Ranker.com, they put Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Carmelo Anthony. For some reason, Giannis, which is a power forward, Paul George, which can be considered a shooting guard, Andre Iguodala, which I don't even think he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. We already know that. The others might. Paul Pierce is already in the Hall of Fame. Gordon Hayward, he's not going. I don't think Chris Middleton is going. Rudy Gay is definitely not going. Lou Deng is definitely not going. Trevor Ariza, an older Sean Marion, Nicholas Wilson Chandler. I'll rest my case.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.